Welcome to another episode here on my YouTube channel. My name is Jerry Colbert, and in today's episode, I want to discuss with y'all how bad sugar and processed foods are. And it's all coming up next. So before we start, I did want to ask, if you like this channel and you want to see more of these episodes in the future, make sure you hit that like button down below and subscribe to my channel. So, what am I talking about with sugar and processed foods? Well, if any of you all have been watching my channel, you know that I have, back on September 3rd, went on a carnivore diet. And since then, I've actually migrated a little bit more stricter to lion diet. And you might ask, what is a carnivore diet? Well, a carnivore diet is basically an elimination diet. You're just going to eliminate all plants, anything. You're just going to eat meat only. And that goes for what? That goes for beef, chicken, you got pork, fish, lamb, anything that's a meat that you can eat. And it's cutting out pretty much plants. And, and of course, anything processed or stuff like that. And so what's my deal with sugar and processed foods? Why do I care? I mean, what's so big about that? I mean, why can't we just eat it? I mean, after all, it's in the grocery store. The government says it's okay. So why can't we eat it? I mean, even my doctor says it's great to have that processed food, right? I mean, after all, Cheerios, is great for heart health. Anyway, back to reality. So yeah, processed foods are not good for you. They have never been good for you, and they never will be good for you. Processed foods lead to a lot of ailments that we are going to the doctors for. And the thing of it is that the medical community, the pharmaceutical community, and pretty much society, they would much rather you stay sick. I mean, you say, well, why is that? Well, especially for the medical community and the pharmaceutical industry, they have an invested interest in you staying sick. Why? Money. The love of money. They love money. And so if you come to their office and say, hey, I got this ailment, right? Instead of doing something to help you, they're going to give you a pill. Why? Well, they benefit from you coming back to them because they're basically your drug supplier. I mean, let's just be honest. A lot of people are probably going to take not going to take this very well, let's just say. But really, doctors now are just drug pushers. They're drug peddlers. Diet is the key. Eat right, and you can be free of going to the doctor. You don't have to even worry about going there, because doctors are not doing you any favor. They are in business to stay in business. That's all they're in business for. They're not in business to help you. It used to be, now doctors had this, Hippocratic oath. It seems to be hypocritical now. But they used to want to help people. Do no harm, right? Yet, every day, somebody comes in their office with this ailment, they do harm. Knowingly or unknowingly, they're doing harm, and the result's still the same. I want you to think about that. Whether or not they do it intentionally or not intentionally is irrelevant, because they still do the harm by passing out these pills like candy to people, and they're not helping anybody, so they're doing them harm instead of learning about nutrition and actually helping people with what they eat. Now, there is a place for doctors in our society. There is. If I break my arm one day, I need a doctor to set it. Doctors are good for stuff like that, for surgeries, setting broken bones, stuff like that. But diagnostic-wise, they're of no use to me. Now, they might be still use to you because you maybe are suffering and you have chronic illness and everything. And I'm not saying that, because I'm not a doctor, so I'm not saying that you just stop all medicine. That's not what I'm getting at. What I'm saying is that you should wean yourself off of that stuff and start eating right. But first, you need to start eating right. That's the key. Once you start eating right, now you do need to be monitored by a doctor because they are, like I say, drug peddlers. So when you start eating right, you'll find that, like for instance, blood pressure medicine, you might not need you might not need it, or you might have to get it adjusted so you don't have a medical issue. But you should do whatever you can to work with your doctor who does not have your best interest in mind, but you need to, I won't say play them, but you need to use them to your advantage to get off of this stuff, and you need to actually eat right. Now, what do I mean by eat right? You know, I have struggled with weight for the last decade, and I have had a lot of issues with it. And well, actually, it's probably been more than a decade, maybe a couple of decades. And I have gone on different diets. And, diets always has a negative connotation to it where you think, oh my goodness, a diet, that's just a short-term thing. Then I'll be able to eat what I want again, right? So I'll lose that weight, and then I get it right back. And I'll lose it, and I'll gain it right back. And I'll lose it, gain it right back, and a couple more pounds. Well, what I'm on is actually a lifestyle diet, because I guess I got to call it that, because apparently the word diet has been hijacked in America, and we just assume that this is a short-term thing. But really, a diet is whatever you're eating. That's your diet. And the standard American diet is killing you. It is. I mean, look at the obesity epidemic that's in America. You want to talk about an epidemic. The obesity epidemic is just crazy. I mean, about 70% of people are like, overweight. Didn't used to be that way. I was on the internet the other day, and I was looking at an old picture of this, it's like 50s or 60s, of this beach, right? And somebody had just taken a picture. It wasn't like, a film set or anything. They had just taken a picture of a beach with a whole bunch of people on it, right? But, you didn't see one person there that was overweight. Not one person. Why is that, you think? Now, were there obese people back then? Probably. But it wasn't as prevalent as it is now. So what changed? What changed? Did we all of a sudden our genetics just got all screwed up and we no longer can be skinny? Except for a select few? What changed? Sugar. Processed foods. Then generations started getting fatter and fatter. And now, parents feed their kids all this junk that's not good for them. And now we have obesity in kids growing up. And we're like, well, we want to be nice to the child, and they want a donut. Little Johnny wants that Pop-Tart. I mean, we can't be mean. You don't want me to be mean, do you? I mean, he's begging for a Pop-Tart. He likes them. Be a parent instead of a friend. You're doing the child more harm than good by giving them junk. Be responsible. If you're going to have a child, be a responsible adult and feed your child a proper human diet, not junk food. Stay out of the middle of the grocery store. Go to the outside of the grocery store. Go and get some meat, right? And as far as plants go, plants are trying to kill you. Plants have toxins in them, and I don't see any real reason to eat them. Now, some are worse than others. That's up to you, what you want to do. But if you're suffering with a lot of ailments and have a lot of issues, I suggest that you cut out all plants, everything, and just eat meat. And you will find that you will feel a lot better, like I do. I feel a heck of a lot better now that I'm on Lion Diet or Carnivore Diet. You'll find out that you feel a heck of a lot better. And then you can reintroduce stuff later on if you want. But I really think that you shouldn't be, consuming plants. There's really no benefit to it. A lot of the vitamins, as they say, you get to enjoy from eating those plants are really not bioavailable. They're just not. So they just go in your system and out your system. So why are you bothering? Anyways, that's really all I got for my little rant today. Remember, processed foods are not doing you any good. You're killing yourself. But if that's what you want to do, you want to commit slow suicide, then by all means, eat as much processed food as you want. But that's all that's happening. If you get off of that stuff, you will think clear, like I think a lot clearer now. I mean, my brain fog is gone. I have a lot more energy. I can kind of focus and everything on things. My mood is chilled out. I don't really get mad or angry anymore like I would fly off the handle at any moment. Whenever somebody would look at me the wrong way or say the wrong word to me, sometimes I could just fly off the handle. I don't do that anymore because why? Because I don't have any of that toxins from the plants in me. And I'm eating right. So that's up to you. I mean, I'm just one person. There's plenty of other people out there with stories about the carnivore diet that you might want to listen to. But I'm just one person. And I'm not a medical professional. But my point is that medical professionals nowadays ain't really medical professionals. All they are is drug peddlers. It's just the truth. And really, I mean, that's all I really got for y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed this episode. And like always, if you did, make sure you hit that like button down below. And if you want to see more of these episodes in the near future, make sure you subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell. With that being said, I want to wish y'all a wonderful week. And I'll catch you next episode. Take care.